The mid caps have been on a tear, clear outperformers. So we thought it would be a good idea to talk about the top mid cap funds that you could be considering. Here's our new segment, Mid Cap Fund X-Ray. Let's start off with a check of the top performers of last year. Sumaira Abdi is waiting by. Sumaira, tell us.
Well, the mid-cap index has seen a 50% rally in the last 1 year and 88% from the lows of early April. So this has led to a surge in the assets being managed by the mid-cap fund. So as of yesterday, it is now a 1.18 lakh crore rupee category, making it the third largest in the equity space. Now, out of the 25 schemes that are currently available for investors here, only 6 have beaten the benchmark index in the last 1 year. I'll be referring to the direct plans, of course. So take a look at this. Amongst the bigger mid-cap funds, SBI and Mirae, they have been the clear leaders with returns in excess of the benchmark, 52% there. And here's an interesting trend. The other 4 funds which have beaten the benchmark in the last 1 year are all managing assets close to just about 1,000 crores or under. Look at this, PGIM India, the rank outperformer, 70% returns, and it's an under 1,000 crore rupee fund. It's a standout showing. So what have the other big funds done? Now, make no mistake, almost everything has done well. It's like throw a dart and hit a fund giving you 40% returns, right? So the likes of, you have iPru, Kotak, UTI, HDFC, Axis, Nippon, they have all delivered close to 40%. But look at the benchmark. They have all underperformed, compared to the benchmark. So perhaps it would have been a better idea to invest in a mid-cap index fund or ETF, although there are only 3 of those available in India at the moment. But speaking of the mid-cap index fund, one of them is from the Motilal stable. And look at this. Their actively managed mid-cap fund is actually the worst performer. Go figure. But do remember that past performance cannot be the only basis for selecting a fund. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot for that. So now we have an expert joining in. Kirtan Shah, the Chief Financial Planner at SRE, joins us now to tell us what are the funds you should be buying even after the run-up that we've seen up until now. So straight down to, what one should be doing, right? Kirtan, thanks so much for joining us. What are the top 3 mid-cap funds that you are recommending at the moment, and what's the rationale behind that?
Hi, Sonia. Thank you so much for having me on the show. So, Sonia, there are 3 things that we particularly look at before deciding or pinning down on a fund that we would want investors to invest in. So the first of the criteria is typically the consistency of the fund on risk-adjusted basis. So you end up looking at the rolling returns, the Sortino ratio, the alpha of the fund over a period of time, and you try and kind of figure out whether the performance on a rolling and risk-adjusted basis is good versus the index and the average industry category or not. The second, very importantly, is the risk management tools deployed by the fund, where you look at the diversification, the performance during drawdowns, which is a very important data point to look at before entering into a mid-cap, small-cap kind of a fund. And third, of course, is the portfolio construct, where you look at the top 3 sectors in which the funds have invested, is because you can't really depend on how things went in the past and assume that things will be as good as in the future. But what is the current construct of the portfolio is extremely important. So keeping these 3 things in mind, what we like is Axis Midcap, DSP Midcap, and Kotak Emerging Equities Fund. So,
Okay, got that, all your characteristics. But Kirtan, Sumaira just told us that it is the under 1,000 crore funds that have done very well. PGIM, Quant Midcap, Edelweiss, maybe that board should come up for you. Edelweiss, Baroda Midcap. Is not that a good idea to go to the smaller ones because there are only that many good mid-caps perhaps? Maybe that's why they're doing so well.
So Lata, partially correct. I mean, I would kind of agree that if it's not a broad-based rally, it's more polarized, then you would typically see index funds outperforming. But unlike large cap funds where, the active funds are so hugging the index because they are not allowed to invest outside of the large cap index. So in the large cap space, you have to put 80% of your money in the large cap stocks by Nifty. And hence there is a very little room that you can ideally do outside of the index. That's not something that plays out on the mid cap side, Lata. So on the mid cap, you have fund managers having the leeway to put 35% kind of investments outside of the mid cap index, and where I think active can definitely play a role. I'm not saying that we should.
1 minute. Kirtan, my question was not on mid-cap index funds. My question is the chota funds are doing well. The funds with lesser AUM. So is that a very important criterion? See, the ones that Sumaira picked up, PGIM, Quant, Edelweiss and Baroda, it's not the index quality as much as the size that seems to be a discriminating factor. You don't think so?
Absolutely. Look, size, while we talk about mid-cap funds are definitely going to be a large data point to look at, is because if I can quote, let's say HDFC Mid-Cap Opportunity Fund, it at one point in time was the best performing fund in the category. But as you saw the AUM rise, you saw that the fund could actually not deploy the incremental AUM coming into the fund because the liquidity framework of a mid-cap, small-cap fund is not as good as a large-cap fund. So I will definitely concur with the point that, the AUM will definitely decide whether the fund is able to do good or bad in the future. But a lot of these funds that we are talking about, which are less than 1,000 crore, a couple of them are pretty new, and we don't really have a lot of background to look at whether they've been able to ride the market upcycle, downcycle really well.
Actually, if you look at it in the last 5 years, I know we keep talking about 1 year return, 3 year returns, but in the last 5 years, the Axis Midcap Fund has given a 20% return compared to, say, a PGIM fund giving an 18%, Invesco giving about 17%. So in general, most of these funds have given the same kind of returns in the last 5 years, if you look at it. But, I wanted to ask you specifically on when you select a fund, do you have a sectoral bent in mind as well? Because in the Axis Midcap Fund, for example, it has a very high exposure to financials. I mean, it has names like City Union Bank, Cholamandalam, some of the larger ones like Bajaj Finance, HDFC Bank. So while picking a fund, do you recommend that investors sort of pick a sectoral theme and go with that?
Sonia, definitely a yes. Like I just explained a while back, that we definitely look at the top 3 sectors in which the fund has concentration. I think because that is what is going to drive your future performance. Today, if you look broadly, we think there are four themes really playing out in the market. First is inflation. We've seen the last decade where the monetary policy was really loose, but we didn't really have inflation becoming very difficult because there was no fiscal stimulus. This time around, I think with loose monetary policy, if you're going to have this fiscal stimulus that we see in the market, inflation is definitely going to catch up. You already see that happening in metals. You see that happening in soft commodities, and integrated players like materials and commodities, in our opinion, will do well. So that's one sector. Second is rural. I think the monsoon's been really good. Effect of Corona has been very little on the rural India versus the urban India. And I think if commodity prices have to go up because of inflation, the rural part of the country is definitely going to benefit, and which will really make consumption a better thing to invest in. Similarly, I think if you look at manufacturing, and especially chemicals and all, we've seen how it's played out because of the government policies on export promotion and import substitution. I think manufacturing is a very interesting sector to look at. And similarly, housing is because, while we see that the GSEC yields are going up, but you just saw last week SBI reducing their housing interest rate, right? And all the tax subsidies that people get to invest in the housing space, we think housing has bottomed out and probably the cyclical rally will probably work, which will give advantage to financials, cement, building materials, consumer durables and electricals. So I think this is the broader thing that we think will work out. Okay. And which is why we think that the financials, chemicals and probably the consumer durable kind of sectors will really do well, and the logic of picking these funds.
All right. Kirtan, you do all that analysis. We will only go by what funds you're telling us, and you're telling us that Axis Midcap, DSP Midcap and Kotak Emerging is your pick of the pack. Thank you very much for joining us with all that analysis. Thank you to Sumaira as well. That's it on Bazaar, but trading ideas are lined up on Chartbusters.